So I wanted to just tell you a couple things. I know Melissa's already on, but I just wanted to let you guys know a couple things before I just turn it over to her. So obviously, yeah, if you're not muted, mute yourself. You should all be muted when you get on. But I wanted to give you, if you did not see the post in Team Fusion, on September 4th, if you hit Success Club in August, you'll be able to get on like a hot seat call with Amy Arata, whatever her, Amy Bailey, that's her married name, and Danielle Natoni, Wednesday, September 4th at 6 p.m. Okay. And so it's just for people that nail down Success Club for August, and they're going to do it every month and have some of the top leaders do calls for those that are hitting Success Club. Okay. So that's one call that you get when you hit Success Club. The other one that you get, so every third Tuesday, I hop on a mentor call with other like 5-star girls just from across the network. And we have guest speakers. So Bonnie Engel is speaking for us September 10th. And they said that we can invite anybody that hits Success Club in August onto that call. So that'll be awesome too. So those are 2 calls that you'll get when you hit Success Club in August. So keep pushing, you guys. And then also, if you use all 3 of your promo codes, they're going to give you 3 more in September. So that's like a little perk to be like, hey, you used all 3 of your codes, you're going to get 3 more in September. So a couple little announcements. And so if you guys don't know Melissa is under Micah. She is 12-star. She's coached for about 6 years, almost 6 years in like November-ish. And she's seriously one of my favorite people ever. So I'm just going to let her go. And if you have questions about anything, you can either type it in the chat or just at the end, we'll give you a little bit of time to just ask some questions. Okay? So go for it.
I know all of you guys, so you better know me. You know? Yeah, and I really love interaction, so getting active in that chat will be like making me full of the fire. So just letting you know from the beginning, I actually just was talking to, you guys know Jamie Glassman. You should. She was on the National Wake Up Call this week. I was just talking to her team about this topic. So I thought I'd bring it to you guys too. How to turn this off. Anyway, did you guys hear that little bing? Sorry. Hopefully I don't get any more of those. So how many of you guys want to like be a little bit better or grow in recruiting? Like, do you guys struggle with that? Okay, so this is what I talked about with her team, and I will tell you that recruiting starts with you. Okay, so that's like kind of the first thing. Oh, and P.S. I'm not gonna like introduce myself because like you guys know me. I feel like we all kind of work together quite a bit, so you pretty much know my story and all that, so I'm not gonna like waste time and go through that. But yeah, Marty, so this is exactly what I want to talk about, and I actually have 5 tips to help you guys improve your recruiting game. Okay, you guys want to recruit more people? And does anyone like feel a little bit weird when you say recruit? Like maybe a little bit, but I like to use that word because you guys, I came from like the volleyball world, and recruiting was huge, and like I always wanted to bring like the best players to my team because I'm a winner. Like I want to win the game. And that's really how you have to think about coaching is this is your team, this is your tribe, these are the people you're going to spend the most time with. Sorry, my lighting is really weird. I think it's because my background is so dark in here. So it's like all of a sudden I'll be like orange or like white, or I don't really know how to fix it, but it's fine. It's all good. So that's kind of what we're going to be chatting about tonight. And if you guys have questions, or if you want to stop me, or if you want to talk about anything more specifically, let's do it. And just make sure, oh, thanks, Coz. make sure that you do ask those questions, because I want to make sure you guys feel the most comfortable, most confident, most excited to go build your tribe with rock star coaches who are active and in it for life. Okay, that's the goal. So the very first tip that I wrote down, and this is something that I really came to learn probably in like year 2.5 of being a coach, okay? And that is your belief in the business. So you have to have so much belief in this business that everyone around you believes that they can have that too. You know what I'm saying? In the beginning, I will be the first to admit I did not have that belief. I was like the naysayer, not even naysayer, that's the wrong word. I was like the skeptical one. I was like, oh, like she said this could work, we'll see. Like, we'll see if this actually works for me. I wasn't all in. I wasn't really getting awesome results, and that kind of like annoyed me because Micah, when way back then, like 5 years ago, she would like highlight her coaches that were killing it, like their results. I mean, like she would show like their results in a post, and I'd always be like, what the heck? Like, why is she never picking me? Like, I look good enough? Like, it was like personal, right? And I don't think I've ever told her that, so don't show her this recording. But like, I was super like, what the heck? Like, why is she not showing my results? Like, I thought I was doing good. I'm like, it's just not that good. And it wasn't, you guys. I was not committed to a nutrition program. Like, we had the containers and stuff. Did I use them? No. I am not a container person. You guys all know I'm a 2B lifer. Like, thank goodness they came out with 2B mindset, because it changed my whole life. But I wasn't committed. I wasn't all in with my fitness, with my health, with my nutrition. I was just like kind of sort of in, like dabbling in eating better. I was pretty consistent with my workouts, but sometimes missed a day, sometimes made it up, sometimes didn't. For the most part, like I was good with the workouts, but the nutrition, no. With my business, no. Okay. And I can say that now because I know the type of coach I was in those first couple of years. Because I was living that kind of sort of in and out coach life, I was not attracting people who wanted to be in the business. Yeah, I got a couple of discounters. Yeah, I got a couple, like 1 or 2 people. When I was a year into the business, I think I had 1 working coach and my spouse. And that was it. And I was a diamond coach, and we were hustling and we were grinding, but it was really just me, you know? And it wasn't until I went on the Success Club trip and I met Cozy actually on that trip. And we hung out with Micah and JD one of the nights because she like asked us to come over and play cards. And we didn't even play cards. We like sat and talked about the business the whole time. But Micah was like in the top 10 and from the previous year. And I remember they had like got her this suite, and like she was totally being spoiled, and it was this amazing thing. And Jeff and I were like, dude, why are we not all in? Like, why am I not telling everyone that this is what they can have? And it was because I didn't believe it for myself. But once I saw it, I was like, all right, I'm going all in. And that belief that I all of a sudden had was so contagious. I started to attract other coaches who also believed that was possible for them. I started to attract business-minded coaches, okay? So confidence in this opportunity and belief that it's possible for anyone is going to be huge for your recruiting and the types of coaches that you're recruiting, okay? All right, number 2, one of the best things you can do to recruit more coaches is talk about coaching more. Okay, so when I am attracting, you guys ever go through like ebbs and flows in like your recruiting? I totally do. And this is why, and I know why I do, but this is it. So if you're in one of those ebbs and you're like, okay, I really need to get more, I need to be recruiting more, You need to be talking about it more, writing more posts about coaching, talking about more of the blessings, incorporating it into all of your stories. Not all of them. I meant like every day in your stories. Talking about the different reasons, not just that it keeps you accountable. Yes, that's like a huge part of coaching, but maybe even just like a small thing, you guys. I remember when I first started, Micah would be like, you guys, like, how is coaching helping you this week? Like, what is your, what are your commissions, or what's your income going to pay for this week? And in my first year, it was really like, oh, like maybe like my electric bill, like it's like an extra $100 or something. Or maybe like it was our car payment a lot of months because we still had a car payment. And then we paid off the car, and I was like, holy cow, it's crazy how fast that compounds, right? So think about the little things that the money you're making, or the financial aspect, or maybe it's even like, you guys, I talk about the community a lot because I am a homebody. Like, I literally could be at my house all day long, sit on my couch, watch Netflix, be totally fine with my life. Like, never feel like I'm missing out on anything. But that's not that fun. So, but I have a hard time making friends in real life. I really do. And like, you hear me talking on this, and it probably doesn't seem like I'm very shy, but I'm like a pretty quiet and shy person, more of an observer. I like to sit in the back of the room. Like, I was the worst student in class. Like, I mean, I was a great student, but I'd always choose like the back seat in the corner. Cause I just like to be an observer. I don't like to be like the one answering all the questions. And that's just how I am. And so if I didn't have this, I probably wouldn't have a lot of friends. Like, literally, I have 2 friends from high school who are still like my best friends. That's it. I was never like the person with like, who was the bridesmaid for like 20 girls. Like, that was not me. I had a lot of like kind of friends. I had like a lot of acquaintances in high school, but 2 really best friends. If I didn't have coaching, I literally would never do anything. Honestly. It has brought so many incredible friendships into my life. It has brought so much deeper friendships because it's not the surface. You know how sometimes like when you go to church, or when you're like at the grocery store, it's like a super surface, like, oh, how are you? I'm great. When really like your day was horrible and you're just pretending that like nothing's going wrong with your life and your kids aren't driving you crazy when they are. Like, I feel like I can be the most real with coaches that I have met through this opportunity with my friends who are coaches, because they get it. Like, they talk about it. They're open. They have been through all the stuff that we're going through. They also got thrown up on this morning. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this community is amazing because of the open friendships, because we all want what's best for each other. And I think that a lot of women really want that. And they just don't know how to find it. They don't know where to find it. I know that was something I honestly didn't even know I was missing out on before I became a coach. I was a teacher and had like my kind of sort of teacher friends. Like, we were friends at school, but then I come home and just do life and like didn't have anyone to talk to about it, you know? And it wasn't until I became a coach when I was like, oh my gosh, like, this is amazing. Like, all these women they're cheering you on and they're supporting you, and it's incredible. So talk more about the community, talk more about your friendships. Yeah, exactly. So true. Okay. So here's number 3. And if you guys were on the Angie Lee call, which I'm sure all of you guys are, this is not like anything new. But it's like, know your people. Okay. Number 3, know your people. And a lot of that comes from knowing yourself. And I think that's something that you have to do some soul searching, some digging deep into your purpose for becoming a coach. And that will change over time. Like, for example, when I first became a coach, it really 100% was not for the community, was not for the health and fitness. Like, I 100% saw Micah making an income and said, if she can do that, I can do that. I had no idea I would be on a team. I had no idea I was in like open up my own business. I don't know why I'm doing this. But like, literally I didn't know what I was getting into. No idea. Those were huge blessings for me because it was a wake-up call that, for one, I wasn't taking care of myself. I had no time to grow as a person. I was only ever serving my kids, my students, trying to help around the house, like be a good wife, be a good mother. Like I was fulfilling or trying to fulfill all the other roles from an empty cup. Like I had no energy. I had no happiness. I was not filled with joy. And I didn't even know it. It was like, and I hate to use this example, but like literally when I had my first kid, I'm pretty sure I had postpartum depression. I didn't even know. Like I was oblivious to it because you're just in the moment. I had no idea that you were supposed to actually really love your kid and not want to throw them out the window when they were crying all night. Like that's probably horrible to say, but seriously, sometimes I was like, can see why people shake their babies right now because I'm so frustrated. And then when I had my second kid and I was happy and I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Like I love my baby and I love all my kids. And this is like, is this what it was supposed to be like the first time? You know, like you don't know until you know both. And that's kind of the experience I had as a coach. I thought I was just supposed to go through life serving everyone else and being a mom first and being a wife first and doing all of my other roles first and not taking care of me. And honestly, we all know this, like a million people have said it, like the most famous women in the world, you have to take care of yourself before you can take care of anyone else. You guys have heard like the airplane analogy where it's like you have to put the mask on yourself, then put the mask on someone else, because how are you going to put the mask on someone else if you're dead, right? You can't save anyone else if you're not even alive. So you have to save yourself first. It might sound selfish, but it's the reality. You have to take care of yourself in order to more fully take care of others. And the more you know about your journey, the more you know about what's important for you, and the more you commit to taking the best care of yourself for yourself, not for anyone else, not because you want to impress anyone or not because like someone told you to do it, but because you know that that's how you're going to become your best self, you're then going to be able to share more authentically with the woman that you're looking for, who is just like you, struggling just like you, going through, or just like you did, going through the motions just like you were. Okay, so you have to really know where you came from, what your purpose is in order to really find your niche. Am I saying that right? Is it niche, niche, nash? Like, I feel like a million people say it different ways. I'm like, I don't even know. It's a niche, right? Niche. I was an English teacher, but is that English? That's like French or something. I don't even know. Okay, so you guys get it. Number 4, you have to talk to people like you're an actual person. Like none of this robotic talk, none of this like talking about things in a way that like makes it sound like they're joining some professional business. Like you guys just talk to your people, talk to, in your posts. Cozy is the best at this. Like she really is. She made that face like she doesn't know what I'm talking about, but she really is the best at this. Like if you go read her posts, I feel like she sent me like a text message. Like she really speaks with her genuine true voice so well. So if you're needing an example of what I'm like talking about, you need to go and read some of her posts because she does such a great job. Don't copy them, obviously, because it's her voice. But like think about, okay, if I'm really wanting to get in touch with this my niche person, this person that I really want to help, this person who I can relate so much to, how, what would I say to them if I were going to send them a text message? Or how would I speak to them if they were my neighbor and in person? That's the type of language you need to be using in your posts. That's the type of, like, if you're doing a story, try to talk like you normally talk. It's kind of hard because you're like, I don't want to mess up. When you mess up, like, own it. It makes it more funny. And then it makes someone who is maybe a little intimidated feel a little more comfortable being imperfect, right? We don't want people to look at us and be like, oh, like they've got it all figured out. Like they're so good at this. I want my people who like totally mess up, who are not afraid to mess up, who own their mistakes, who are laugh it off. Like, none of us are perfect. We don't need to pretend we are. I mean, some of you might be. Some of your guys' hair looks really perfect right now. Like, I don't know. I know your name's not Jared, but your hair looks amazing right now. So just so you know, all of you guys look beautiful. She's just right in the center of my screen. You guys, like, just be yourself is really what it comes down to. People have to know you if they can ever get to the point where they're going to trust you. And if you're talking like a robot, if you're not really talking like yourself, then how can they ever really begin to know you and trust you and then want to join you? Okay. Yes, that's got to be it. Okay, so that was number 4. And here is number 5. Okay. You guys, this is probably the hardest for people, and I don't know why, because it's my superpower. It literally is. It's like the only thing I do right in this business. But you have to be consistent. You have to be so consistent with all of these things. And I will just tell you, and you've heard it from, probably, I don't even know, like Grant Cardone or someone, but it's the start and the stop that really will kill your business. It's the, oh, I'm going on vacation, so I'll pick back up next week. Or, gosh, today's like way too crazy. There's no way I'm going to get a post in, so I'll just post tomorrow. Or, I don't have enough time to make connections, so I'm just not going to do it today. You guys, that kind of stuff is the stuff that will hurt your business long term. Get your BAT, your Success Club tracker, okay? Do that every single day, consistently. And I promise you, even if it's not perfect in the sense that like everything sounds right and everything looks so cute, like even if it's not perfect, you're going to be seen and heard, and people are going to see you showing up, and they're going to trust that you're going to be there for them. The hardest thing that you can do is stop and then expect when you come back for people to trust you that you're going to be there for them. I know I'm not going to go trust someone with my help, my fitness, my goals, if they've been MIA for the last 3 weeks because they went on a trip. So what happens when I need you, like I'm in your group and all of a sudden you're just gone for 3 weeks? Like, no, you can't. You have to be consistent. You have to be constantly showing up, not just for yourself, but for your team, for your coaches. There is nothing that drives me more crazy, like really, than people who sign up to coach and they're like, I'm so excited. I'm in this for the long run. And then like after month 1, they're like, this is really hard. And then they quit. You know, and they've signed up 5 girls who they were super excited about, and then they quit and they're like left these people high and dry. When you're committed, commit and show up and be consistent every single day. And you know what? I promise you, if you show up every day, if you stay consistent with those daily activities, I promise you, and this is probably like against legal, whatever, but I promise you, you'll be successful. I promise you, if you don't give up, if you don't quit, you're going to be successful. There's like 10% of coaches who sign up who, like, I don't even know like what defines success, but who like really make it in the business, and guaranteed it's really just the people who didn't quit when it got hard. Or it's the people who stayed the most consistent over time or did a little bit more every day. And I'm not saying you have to like bust your butt and like never sleep and all that stuff, but you really have to stay super consistent. I'll tell you, I'm not like the best at everything. I'm not the best recruiter, not the best. I'm not the highest Success Club earner, but I consistently get better every single day, and I consistently grow my business every day. And I always show up, even on days I don't want to show up. To be honest, like, have you guys ever had a day where like you wake up and you're like, I don't really want to go do lit cardio today? Like, we're only 20 days in. I've already said that twice. Oh, shoot. We've only done that workout twice. No, like literally, sometimes you just don't want to do it, but you do it anyway. Because you know that's what's going to help you grow. That's what's going to help you move forward. So if you can do anything, out of these 5 things, you just have to stay consistent and don't give up. Don't give up on your dreams. Don't give up on your goals. Write them out every single day. My Rise planner's in the kitchen right now because I was working in the kitchen earlier. But you guys, if you don't use the Rise journal, count planner, whatever you call it, you need to get that. It is so helpful to set goals. Like, I have never been more aligned with the goals I've set for myself because I write them out every single week. I know exactly where we're going. Sometimes I don't know how the crap we're going to get there, but I know where we're going and I have that vision, and it's almost like saying that affirmation every single day. And if you can believe it, you can make it happen. Okay? Whew, all right. Got a little passionate right there for a minute. Do you guys have questions or like anything you want to talk about specifically about recruiting? I wanted to make it a little bit different. Who was in the session? Did any of you guys go to Summit and you were in like the Coach Emerald Ruby track? I don't think many of you guys were, but Mike and I talked about recruiting. So I wanted to bring something different from what we shared there, which were like really specific to like IG sneak peeks and like all the actual like how to recruit tools. But I wanted to bring it down to like the mental side because I think it's really belief and action that are going to help you become better at recruiting. Yeah, awesome. Thanks for putting that on there, Diana. That has changed my life in terms of staying organized.
I agree. I love the Rise Planner. So if you guys don't have it, Amazon, it's $25. Super worth it. So I love that you shared more of that side because I feel like there's every resource to know how to post and what to say and all these things, but we can't teach you and we can't give you a script and how to believe in yourself to talk to people because people will see through it. We can give you millions of scripts, but if you think it's BS, I promise people can see right through it. So you have to.
It is a real thing.
It is. It totally is. And do personal development, stuff to feed your mind, literally, you guys, constantly. When I started, I would literally be listening to something 3 hours a day. Anytime I was doing anything, I was listening to something that was feeding my mind to help me get closer to my goals, not other stuff that, I don't ever just have the TV on just to have it on. If I'm not sitting down in front of the TV watching something, which I still don't very often, I am listening to something. I don't usually have music on. So yeah, unless I'm working out, I can't listen to PD while I work out. So I have to have music. But
awesome.
So
yeah, Diana, you're killing it too.
Yeah. You guys, PD will change your life, I promise. So and if you feel like you're struggling with something, it's probably because you're slacking in your PD. Promise. Every time I talk to any coach and they're like, I just don't know if I can do this, blah, blah, blah. If I ask what they're reading, they're like, well, I've been kind of slacking on that. Okay, well, those go hand in hand every single time. Okay. Do you guys have specific questions for Melissa? You can either unmute yourself and ask, or type it in, but you can just unmute yourself.
Melissa, what are your non-negotiables every single day, activity-wise? Sometimes you can't do all the things, but what are the things that you make sure that you get done every day?
So if you guys know me, you've heard me say invites are the hardest thing for me. I don't know why, it just always is. So I do the eat that frog strategy. So right when I wake up, I go make my pre-workout. I come into my office or wherever, sometimes I'm just in the kitchen, and I send 25 invites every morning. I do it first thing because if I don't do it first thing, it doesn't happen. I'll just be honest with you. Literally, I'll talk myself out of it. So while my pre-workout's kicking in, I'm I can't work out until these invites are sent. And while I'm sending invites, I'm also listening to PD. So it kind of amps you up. You get this ish done that you don't really want to do, and then you go work out. That's what I do.
Where do you?
And I'll usually listen to my scriptures, or to some a talk or something that I'm wanting to
feed your mind a positive way
Mhm.
in some way.
Thank you.
Where do you get your, like, are you inviting from people that are watching your stories mostly? Where?
Yeah, so most of my invites, I lately I've always done story watchers. I just think it's so easy because they know me, they watch me consistently, like they're super comfortable with me. So I just really like to invite from my stories, but lately I've been trying to ask a poll the night before, like in the evening, and I haven't tonight, but and then the next morning, like last night, I had been talking about my nutrition yesterday. I'm doing the Ultimate Reset right now with Jeff. And so I asked people, I'm like, what do you struggle with most? And I've been talking about my boot camp all week. I'm like, is it nutrition or is it your workouts? Like, do you struggle with getting your workouts in every day, or do you struggle more with like eating right? Because I'm definitely like an emotional eater. And so then like literally just anyone who votes on it, I'll go invite them. Like it doesn't matter which one they vote. I don't care. I'll just go and invite them and then ask them questions. Another question I like to ask is, do you prefer cardio or do you prefer weights? Or another question I've asked is like, do you like to work out in the morning or in the evening or on your lunch break? Like I'll just ask like the most random questions. I try to keep it kind of like health and fitness centered, but without inviting to a challenge group. So that they actually vote. Because if I'm like, do you want info on my group? I get like 2 responses, and half the time it's like Cozy and someone else. So I try to just keep it super general so I can really get to know my audience, what they struggle with. You learn, okay, so they struggle with nutrition, so now I can offer nutrition tips. And then you can say like, was this helpful? And then if they vote yes or no, like, like little things like that. And it just helps you get to know your audience a little bit better too. Coaching invites, I honestly don't really invite to coaching. I invite lots more challengers to coaching or people who have responded to like my call to actions for coaching. But I don't just invite anyone to my coaching team because we're pretty exclusive. Just kidding. But I really do. I'm like pretty picky now. So I don't just like invite anyone to be on my team. Okay, let's see. I'm a new coach and feel like there's so much info. Yes, there is. When you feel like you knew, when did you feel like you knew enough about everything? Never. Like I never can know enough. My business took off when I took massive action. So I was actually talking about this with on the earlier call. And my business started to grow when I started serving the women on my team and helping them grow their business. So when I started, I kept recruiting. I kept doing like 90% of my time was spent like recruiting, and then 10% was spent training and bringing these girls under my wing and being like, okay, let's run a sneak peek together. And I just kind of showed them how it was done. Susan, I know will understand this, but I like to do like the scaffolding approach. So I'll do it for them and I'll say, okay, we're going to do a sneak peek this week. Like this is what it looks like. Make sure you're inviting, make sure you're doing this. Like this is a great strategy, blah, blah, blah. Like I kind of teach them, I show them, I do it myself and show them what it looks like. Then I'll handpick people who are like actually working the business, or I'll send it to my Emerald thread and be like, all right, you guys, like we're going to run a sneak peek together this month. So this is like the next month, or the next time you run a sneak peek. And I'll say, okay, these are the topics. So pick one, you're going to do the live video on it. So then we do it together. And then the next time they do a sneak peek, I'll say, okay, I want you guys to team up and do a sneak peek together with your team. So it's kind of showing them, okay, this is what it looks like. Now let's do it together. Now you go do it. And now a lot of those girls are running their own sneak peeks and they have more of that confidence to do that. So I want to make sure I answered that question. I just don't think I ever knew, and I still am learning so much about social media. Like it wasn't that part that helped my business take off. It was when I started owning my business. Like I used to depend a lot on Micah. Like anytime she was running a sneak peek, I'd be like, I want to join and let her do all the work. And then like, no, I really didn't grow that fast. But once I started running them, when I started owning my business, when I started taking my coaches under my wing and training them instead of like throwing them into one of her Emerald trainings, like when I started taking ownership and doing things the way I wanted to do them, that's when my business really started to grow. So.
What time do you get up usually?
Oh, it kind of varies right now, but I always set my alarm for 5 a.m. I will honestly say I usually get up at 5:30. Today I slept through all 3 of my alarms for some reason and got up at 6:30. So I have no idea. I literally, and Jeff texted me and Josie came into our bed. I was dead to the world. I have no idea why, but I did wake up feeling a little bit stuffy. I wonder if I'm getting sick. And so I was just like gone. I don't know. I have no idea. But normally I like to get up no later than 5:30. Because my kids like, well, I mean, and school's about to start, so they'll be getting up probably like 7:30. But I like to do a lot of my work, like the invites and the connections and the things I got to be focused and like on my phone. I like to do all of that before my kids get up, or it just is straight chaos.
Well, and that's the thing. I think so many people think they have to get up early and do their workout first, but I've actually seen a lot of moms specifically that will get up and do their power hour.
Yep.
That's like their number one thing because they can actually sit and focus without all their kids running around. Where, yeah, it's not ideal to have your kids running around when you're working out, but you can do it. You know,
oh, yeah.
You have that brain power to.
I'd rather work out with my kids around than work with my kids around.
Yeah.
Oh, Kayla, I love you. I wish I was looking at your face.
For real. Okay, does anybody have any more questions? If not, we'll let Melissa go.
You guys are cute. You have a cute team, Cozy. Jeez.
I think so too. Just kidding. I love everyone because I don't know. You know about those teams that just have drama, and I'm like, we just don't. It's the best thing ever. So.
You guys are awesome.
Yes.
You really don't. I love your team so much.
Me too. Okay, guys.
Sorry, I'm just like looking at everyone. I'm like, I feel like I know most of you. There's a few of you I don't know.
Yeah, there's a few like new people that hopped on, so that's
so cool. It's awesome. You guys are welcome, and you guys, I'm sure you guys already know this, but you have an amazing leader. Like, Cozy is a rare gem in this world, so you're very lucky. You chose a good team.
Well, you're very nice. I just feel like our whole entire team is awesome, so we're all lucky. You should never ever feel like you don't have the training you need because we're part of a team that actually has more than enough of everything. So don't ever hesitate to reach out if you need help with more stuff. Okay. Okay, you guys, we'll let Melissa go. Seriously, Melissa, thank you so much. I do calls like once a week, mostly once a week, and it's so good for them to hear from other people, not just me. So I appreciate it.
I love you guys.
Love you too. And yeah, I'll post a recording, you guys, when I get it for people that can hop on. So thanks again, Melissa, and thanks for everyone for hopping on. Have a good night, guys.
See ya.
Bye.